So, hello everyone. Zoelle Rose here. Welcome back to my channel. So, I am trying to learn French. Now, don't get me wrong. I love the French language. The French language to my ears sounds like poetry. It is like music floating through the air on gossamer wings. The fact that I can't understand a word anyone's saying does nothing to detract from the sheer transcendental experience of listening to this beautiful language. But the way they accomplish this fluidity is by getting rid of all those pesky consonants. You know, those consonants that separate one word from the next? So that all you've got on the French side of the Rhine River are these very elegant amal cloonies of the alphabet world. Meanwhile, those pesky consonants have floated over the Rhine River. They're kind of like the Sylvester Stallones of the alphabet world. And they're over there, hanging out, drinking a beer. So, they think we're not good enough for them. No, we don't need that. We can make words without vowels. Half-flicked. 11 letters, 2 vowels. Quatsch. 7 letters, 1 vowel. So that to my ears, the German language sounds like they've just taken that empty beer can and are crushing it slowly in their hands. But you know, if you were to get the vowels from the French side and the consonants from the German side back together, you might actually end up with a reasonable facsimile of a language that can be both easily spoken and understood. English. So I've been in Strasbourg for 8 months now, and the local people are really not impressed with my attempts to speak their language. I recently had a run-in from the electrical company. Managed to flip the master switch in my apartment so that there was no electricity anywhere. And I call up the electrical company frantic, asking them to please help me figure out what I did so that I can turn my electricity back on. And they're like, "You don't speak French?" And I'm like, "Oui, j'apprends le français. S'il vous plaît, un peu patience avec moi." And they're like, "Non." Click. One of the differences between the French and the Americans is that Americans try to be helpful when we can. Yeah, but in general, Americans tend to be a bit easygoing, stoic. We try to take things in stride, whereas the French, constantly complaining about everything. I mean, you could have a beautiful, warm, perfect summer day in the perfect park with your perfect partner, having a perfect picnic, and nevertheless, they will always find something to complain about. So I figure, at least until I learn how to speak their language, my best shot at fitting into French society is honing my complaining skills. So what I want to complain about? Relationships. Now, I am single, and I have no desire to alter that status. Please don't introduce me to all your single friends. And when it comes right down to it, there are reasons we're all single. You get a bunch of single people in a room together, they're going to be checking each other out, going, "I don't think so." But anyway, there's really not a lot of advantages for women in relationships these days. I mean, back in the old days, a woman had to be married to just survive financially or socially in the world. But all that's changed. I mean, we're all working. We all pay our own way. And yet men have clung to this outdated notion that when he's in a relationship with a woman, that woman will automatically assume the role of housekeeper for him. As if we had some kind of innate need and desire to clean for him, to cook for him, to organize that sock drawer. They have created this entire fantasy image of women based solely on their own needs and desires. But it really has absolutely nothing to do with who we are. Nevertheless, they've got a lot of support for these misconceptions. They've got religion. They've got Freud, who freely admitted he had absolutely no understanding of the female psyche whatsoever, nevertheless felt compelled to promote the idea that any woman who had aspirations or ambitions beyond that of housewife or helpmate, secretly wanted to be a man. Yeah, she had penis envy. I mean, seriously, guys. Really? Penis envy? I mean, lovely as they are and happy as we are to make use of them, our own equipment works pretty well. In fact, I think it's actually men who have womb envy. I mean, just look around you, all these guys with these enormous, low-hanging bellies, look like they're 9 months pregnant, ready to pop any minute. I was recently at a restaurant with a bunch of people, and one of the guys was ordering 2 of every dish. So I finally asked him, so when is his friend coming to join us that he's buying all this food for? And he said, oh, that's not for anybody else. That's all for me. I'm eating for 2. And I was like, really, congratulations. When do you do? Anyway, thanks for listening. This is Zoelle Rose saying good night.